questions did he ask you?
He basically didn't ask questions. He more was like, we had a conversation.
Those are the best interviews, right?
Yeah. So we had a conversation. I quickly went, he's like, just kind of briefly tell me your history. And so when I got to especially L3 and all of the challenges, we talked a little bit more about that. Asked some questions regarding what's going on with them, what role, what are the expectations of the role. He did ask me, what I'm looking for in a manager. I'm like, I'm looking for someone that's not going to micromanage me, someone that's going to give me feedback and not slap me down, but be critical, give me my critical criticisms, but also say, this is where I think you need to excel and focus on here. It's all new system, it's all new people. So you got to play nice in the sandbox first. He's like, this is what we're going to do. He goes, next steps, we're going to bring people in for an in-person interview. He goes, I think I got one or two. I'm like, okay. He's like, you'll do a plant tour. You'll meet with the buyer that you'll be working with. And then you're going to meet with the director of operations, director of supply chain management. And then you come into a meeting with me in HR and we go over the last 10 years of your life.
Part of your cycle, and I'm just loving the fact that I'm part of your experience, even through the obstacles and now through the triumph. All is well. Trust me, your ancestors are thanking you for staying in course. They're your angels on both shoulders.
Yes. Well, and since we last spoke, I lost my father in November. He was my biggest cheerleader. He was my biggest, you got this. What are you doing? Are you putting out interviews? Like all these different things. Yes. And the one thing that I got from one of his people that he worked with for years was this one word, and I have it on my board, and it says, you are his legacy.
Yes. Oh, you gave me the chills.
Yes. And so
do it for dad. Yes.
And so now it is like, okay, I'm his legacy. Yes. And my dad always was work hard, do what you do. And this is what I do. Purchasing is what I do. I've been trying to be an entrepreneur. I don't have it in me. I could.
You have it in you with other companies. They see the leadership in you, and they holistically vibe on that. So you absolutely can use it in every space that you enter, and you're going to do that with this one. For sure.
So entrepreneurship, I've been trying for the last 2 years, going through everything and just trying to do everything. I've tried every MLM you can think of. I've tried it. Not going to happen. I know that I'm like, I don't, as much as I can build somebody up, I don't want to be responsible for a team.
I got it.
But I also want to be able to, and that's what I said to him. I'm like, I know my job. I know what I can do. I know what I bring to the table. I'm a facilitator of getting things done and accomplished. I'll find out who knows what, when, as quickly as possible.
What has been your good experiences? I know you've been landing a couple of interviews, if not more. Kind of help me understand how that's been going through with the job search, and how's that been working with you after meeting with me and with our services?
So I got more out of it. Like I got more interviews. I got more asks for interviews, and I've got recruiters now coming to me versus me, even though I'm applying and they're like, yep, you're not the fit. We're going to move on with someone else. Okay, good. Thanks. Check you off my list. But I do like 5 a day. That's what I reach out. Like I have a goal 3 to 5 a day. I put it out, and if I get, and I've gotten 5 interviews. So
love it. And since when? We've been doing this now for just a couple of months, if that.
Right. Yeah.
And your background is so unique, and it has a specific niche, but it's still in demand, and you want to make sure that you get rewarded for it. It's not like it's a customer service job or
no,
career.
It's not. Right.
It really is specific in logistics and supply chain. You do all the purchasing orders in terms of you deal with a variety of leaders, and they look for your background because you can facilitate, you can manage projects, and not only that, you can make sure that their inventory is in control, right, girl?
Yeah. It was nice to talk to somebody who's like, he came from, and so by the grace of God, I'll be honest with you, my late husband has blessed me today. He truly has blessed me today.
Awesome.
Because the gentleman used to work for GE. And my husband,
Wow.
my late husband started at GE and worked at GE until they moved here to Florida. So that has
Did you
been,
share that with him? That,
I
oh my,
did not, I didn't even share the last 2 years that my husband passed. I just said I'd been doing something else for 2 years. I've been
okay.
at my home office for 2 years. Now,
Oh,
if he were to
perfect.
ask that question, I'll
Yes.
share. I think it's important to understand that I took control of my home life and my son's to be better. I literally just closed out
That's a
everything.
job by itself, my friend. And the fact that it wasn't illustrated on the resume, and I said, no, we need to put that because that is a huge asset. You spearheaded the estates, you made sure the overhead, everything managing from A through Z. When your late husband was passed, you still had to manage, some of the changes and responsibilities, having to, extend your time to the attorneys, to all the other service providers, your son that you have now as you're the guardian over him. So those are huge wins, and that needs to definitely be placed in your resume, your LinkedIn. So tell me, if had you not do all this, do you think you would be getting the results that you're getting right
No,
now?
no,
It's like,
no,
it's huge. I
no.
definitely feel
If
that.
if I hadn't reached out and like I had several different people, and I think you have to click with a person that you are working with in order to move. And I had spoken to 3 other people besides yourself. But when you said, nope, I want to meet first, and then we'll see if this will be a match or not.
Yes.
That to me spoke volumes. Because if we can't have a conversation and you truly understand, these are my struggles, these are where I'm at, this is what I'm doing. If you can't, then I can't, I'm not willing to fork out my money first. And 2,
Right.
I'm not willing to work with someone that's not willing to sit and have some time with me. Your time's valuable, my time's valuable. But if you can't take the opportunity to learn and understand me, then I don't want.
So definitely know that, your short list, I would still write down who's on my top short list and really hone in on that, meditate on that. Really just start doing research on what they're struggling on, and really go back on your answers or your responses and saying, he said they're struggling on this. So when you do meet with the directors and all that, you can recap and say, so you would be saying, oh, by the way, I took some notes and I took it as a takeaway because I wanted to share with you what some great scenarios. Can I walk you through some? They're gonna be like, oh, wow. She took some scenarios. So walk them through some scenarios that you've done in the past when you worked with, was it GE? When you worked with Ford and GM, excuse me. Walk through them and say, let me walk you through some of the wins that I did and how I feel will be a great solution for this particular problem that myself and the hiring manager spoke about. And what do you think about that? They want to know specifically how you can resolve their problem. I'm telling you, it's all in the results. If you can tell them this is the results I can provide you.
Right.
You're stellar.
Well, because I've already done some of the things that they're doing. I've already been through and successfully moved.
Yeah. What have they talked about in terms of compensation? Have they shared that with you yet, or is it?
Yep, they're at my 85 to 90K. So.
I love it, and it's still negotiable, my friend. So we will talk
about
that.
Still negotiable. Yep. Thank you so much. I'm really excited that I've found and collaborated with you in order to get to this point. I wouldn't be this far along.